Ever feel like you're drowning in a sea of bookmarked articles, half-finished notes, and all these brilliant ideas you can never seem to find when you actually need them? Yeah, we all feel that information overload. But what if there was a simple, clear system to turn all that chaos into a powerful engine for creativity and learning? Well, today, that's exactly what we're going to build. One cannot think without writing. Hello to all viewers of my channel. That powerful idea comes from the incredibly prolific sociologist Niklas Luhmann, and honestly, it's the foundation for everything we're about to cover. See, we all take notes and we save information, but are we actually using it to think better, or are we falling into a really common trap? Okay, let's get into this, because this is a mistake I think we've all made. It's called the collector's fallacy. It's this belief that just by highlighting a passage, or saving a PDF, or bookmarking a website, we've somehow absorbed the information. But true understanding doesn't come from collecting. It comes from actually wrestling with our ideas. So here's our game plan for this explainer. We'll start with that core problem, the collector's fallacy. Then we're going to talk about why willpower just isn't the answer. We'll explore a really powerful system for thinking, show you exactly how to start without getting overwhelmed, add a simple layer of organization, and finally, reveal the incredible long-term payoff. All right, first up, let's tackle that feeling of dread. You know the one, when you sit down to create something new, and nothing. It's a feeling that's directly tied to how we handle our notes and ideas way before we even get to that point. We've all been there, right? Staring at that blinking cursor on an empty screen, feeling totally and utterly paralyzed. Well, Sönke Ahrens, in his fantastic book, How to Take Smart Notes, calls this the myth of the blank page. The problem isn't the page itself. It's the belief that writing actually starts there. The truth is, the real work should have started way, way before that moment. And this just says it all. You see, productive, insightful work isn't born from some single magical moment of inspiration. Nope. It's assembled from a rich foundation of notes, thoughts, and connections that you've been building over time. Once you have that foundation, the blank page isn't an enemy anymore. It's just the finish line. So when we struggle with this, our first instinct is usually to blame ourselves. We think, ugh, I just need more discipline, more willpower. But what if that's completely the wrong way to look at it? Let's talk about why the problem isn't you, it's your system. And this isn't just a feeling we get when we're tired. This is backed by decades of psychological research. We treat our willpower like it's this infinite well we can just keep drawing from, but it's really more like a muscle that gets exhausted. Trying to rely on it to force yourself through complex work, that's a recipe for burnout. It's just not a reliable strategy. So the whole game is to shift from a willpower-based approach to a systems-based one. Think about it. Instead of fighting against friction, a good system just removes it. It creates a workflow that feels natural and actually builds its own momentum. You get pulled forward by curiosity, not pushed by sheer force of will. A good system does the heavy lifting for you. And that brings us to the solution, the very system that sociologist Niklas Luhmann used to become one of the most productive academics of the 20th century. It's called Zettelkasten, which is German for slipbox. Now, don't think of the slipbox as just a place to store notes. That's falling right back into the collector's fallacy. Think of it as an active partner in your thinking. It's a network of your own ideas that you can have a conversation with, ask questions of, and in return, it will surprise you with new connections and insights you never saw coming. The absolute genius of the Zettelkasten is that it boils down to two incredibly simple principles. First, atomicity. Each note contains just one idea. Think of it like a single Lego brick. This makes your ideas easy to move around and connect. Second, connectivity. You actively link these bricks together. So a note about creativity might link to one about neuroscience. This is where the magic really happens. You're not just storing info, you're building a web of knowledge that literally gets smarter over time. Okay, so a powerful philosophy is great and all, but in the modern world, we have a new problem, the crazy complexity of all our digital tools. So many of us download a powerful app like Obsidian, get super excited, and then we get completely and totally stuck. I absolutely love this quote from a Reddit discussion because it just hits the nail on the head. It perfectly captures that feeling of being overwhelmed. You see these ridiculously complex systems online and think you have to build one from day one. But you don't. You're not failing, you're just starting in the wrong place. So how do you actually start? Forget all those complicated structures for now. Seriously. This advice, gathered from a ton of experienced users, is pure gold. Start with one, just one folder called Inbox.
Use daily notes and simple tags instead of a rigid folder system. Your only job at the beginning is to capture your thoughts and connect them. That's it. Let the perfect structure just reveal itself over time.
All right, so once you've been capturing notes for a little while, you'll start to feel the need for just a bit more structure, but we still want to keep it simple, right? This is where Tiago Forte's PARA method comes in. It's a beautifully simple organizational layer you can put on top. PARA sorts your digital life into just 4 simple categories, and it's all based on how actionable the information is. Projects are things with a real deadline, like finishing a presentation. Areas are ongoing standards you want to maintain, like your health or your finances. Resources are just topics you're interested in, stuff you might use one day. And archives? That's for anything inactive from the other 3. Simple, intuitive, and so incredibly effective.
Okay, we've covered the problem, the philosophy, and the practical steps to get started. Now let's talk about the ultimate reward. What happens when you actually stick with this? You end up building what people call a second brain. What happens is the system creates this powerful, positive feedback loop. The more notes you add and connect, the more amazing insights the system gives you back. And this makes the work itself exciting and meaningful. Pretty soon, you find you don't even need willpower anymore because you're genuinely eager to jump in and engage with your ideas. You're in a virtuous circle of learning. And this is what it's all about. This isn't just about becoming more organized or productive in some boring, mechanical way. It's about transforming your work into a process of discovery. It becomes a treasure hunt through your own best ideas, which makes the act of creating easier, more surprising, and just genuinely more fun. And really, that's the core function of a second brain. It's a tool built for connection. As Steve Jobs famously said, creativity isn't about pulling something out of thin air. It's about seeing the links between existing ideas that no one else has spotted before. And this system, it's designed to help you do exactly that. So, the final question is for you. This isn't just a system. It's a partner in your own intellectual journey. If you start building this today, what incredible new connections will you and your second brain discover together? Subscribe to the channel and like, and also suggest your topics for future videos in the comments.